This week, Easton has launched a new arrow, and not just any arrow, a new X10 arrow. So we're going to take a look at it. It's called the Easton X10 3.2 millimeter Parallel Pro. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at the price of it, the sizes, the weight of it, and think of some of the reasons why some people might want to make this their arrow of choice. Before we get started, I just want to say I've got a few spaces left on my online coaching team, and it doesn't matter whether you've only been shooting a month and you want to progress rapidly, or whether you're the best in your country trying to be the best in the world. I believe I've got something to offer you. So the original standard X10 arrow has been the benchmark for arrows. For now, it's now approaching 30 years. It's launched in 96. Now we're fast approaching 2026. And it's been the #1 arrow that entire time. More gold medals, especially at Olympics, probably every Olympic medal, and at World Championships, field, target, dominates. Junior, senior, dominates. So anytime they make an addition to this family of arrows, it's always worth paying attention. And I myself, I've only just got this information, so I was crawling all over the data trying to find out what sort of niche in either the market or in performance is this arrow going to take. So let's have a look. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the price, because I know that most people, anytime there's a new piece of archery equipment released, the price is the first thing people want to know, understandably. Then we can look at the performance and whether it's for you. So just to remind ourselves, if we look at the original X10 arrow, whether it's the standard X10 or the Pro Tour, they generally come in around $500 for a matched set of 12. And the first pricing that I've seen today here at Lancaster is the new shaft is coming in at $410. So it is a marked amount cheaper. So it is looking like it's a more value choice. But where does it fit in the family? You still have, so if that's coming at 410, you're then going to have the other Parallel Pro. So we've got 3.2 millimeter Parallel Pro, the size of the X10. Then we have an arrow which came out last year, maybe the year before, time does fly, and it's the 4 millimeter Parallel Pro. Now, this one is a significant amount cheaper, as you see, but also from a performance point of view, it is a significant amount bigger as well. For a compound, I think this Parallel Pro arrow is also a good choice, but probably for a recurve, I probably wouldn't. I would probably, if I had the budget, I would just upgrade to the ACE arrow. But now you can see where the difference comes in, because the ACE is coming in at $377. So you're not really far behind having the new Parallel Pro shaft. So to me, probably anyone thinking about an ACE, probably now, that's probably not the best choice. Unless you're absolutely desperate for the lightest arrow possible, whether you're a junior struggling to reach the distance, or you're a field archer who feels like you want the speed for those unmarked rounds. If it's anyone else, any adult who can reach the target, okay, I would think the 3.2 millimeter Parallel Pro, the new arrow, would be a far better performance choice than the ACE. Not because it's going to be faster, it's going to be slower, but it's going to drift significantly less. It's going to be a lot smaller. It's going to have a little bit of extra mass weight. It's going to hold its speed and hold its trajectory to the target. And I would think that would be the performance choice, because having a little bit of extra mass weight does keep the arrow going faster for longer. The best example I can think of this is me and a teammate. He shot ACEs, I shot X10s, very similar poundage. We're shooting at 70 meters. I got my speed meter out, my chronograph. We shot through. I can't remember the speeds. What I remember is the difference. So at point blank range, my friend with the ACE was 20 feet per second faster than me. That's a sizable amount. And then we were speculating and we were talking about how the X10's meant to have better long range velocity. And because we were at the top of our game, or because we were a bit carefree, we thought, what about if we put the speed meter down the range at 70 meters and we shoot our arrows through the speed meter at 70 meters? Now, obviously, that's asking for you to destroy your speed meter and stick an arrow through the front of it, but we didn't. So the ACE was 20 feet per second faster than the X10 at point blank. And by the time we got to 70, I was amazed there'd been a complete reversal. It was now the X10 was 18 to 20 feet per second faster than the ACE. So the ACE had lost 40 feet per second on the X10 over that 70-meter range. That's a phenomenal amount. It's certainly a lot more than I ever imagined. So the marketing speak, as we thought about the X10 carrying that long range velocity, it really is true. And when you actually test it, it's quite remarkable. So once we've considered the price, I've gone through, the next thing I always do is download the data sheet on grains per inch. How heavy is this arrow? So if we go back, so this one is for the new 3.2 millimeter arrow, and I just pick out a couple of sizes. At the time, I was looking at some arrows for an athlete of mine shooting 1,000 spined X10s, which is one of the lightest, smallest arrows you can get. Great. If you're a new recurve trying to shoot 70 meters on the low poundage, 1,000 spine X10, awesome arrow. But here you can see it's coming in at 5.5 grains per inch. GPI, grains per inch. And if we flip over to the original X10, we're coming in at 5.3. So straight away, you can see it's still a lighter choice. But then I checked a few different sizes, and yes, the majority of sizes, the original X10 is lighter than the new 3.2 parallel. And of course, that makes perfect sense. The tapering is tapering away the ends, the front and the back of the arrow, tapering them away because you don't need as much stiffness in those areas. And also, we want the shooting characteristics, which I'll move on to in a bit. But one of the points of interest, I noticed on the 900 spine arrow, it's 5.8, and when I look at the other one, it's also 5.8. So there's not going to be much of a weight difference there at all. So maybe if you were after 900 arrows, maybe there truly would be no performance difference. And also the tapering is less pronounced on the smaller shaft. So at the bottom end there, maybe there's some choices. But if we go up to what I used to shoot, 450 or a 460, it's 8.5 on the new shaft, and it's coming in at 8.1 on the original X10. So again, if it is purely a performance decision, I'd be choosing the original X10, but the new arrow is in the same ballpark. You know, it's yes, it might be a slightly not quite as light as we want, but it is still going to be a strong performance choice. It's in the same ballpark, and of course you've got that saving of the money. So when I was talking about the tapering there, saying how it makes the arrow lighter, it also gives us the performance characteristic as recurve archers that we want. So if we're a compound archer, I would go with a parallel design, or the Pro Tours where it's stiff at the back, weaker at the front, tapered off. But particularly with a recurve, I feel as if we want that weaker, more flexible back end of the arrow. And let me just show you why. I've got a video here taken at an Olympic Games. So this is an Olympic archer, not an Olympic medalist, but I just liked the angle we took on this video. It's just a very clear shot, but this is a top performer, top world-class archer, and I've got a couple of them to show. So why do we want that tapered, more flexible back end? Well, it's because of this. I'm going to play this. It says recorded at over 2,000 frames per second, and actually I'm going to scrub through. You can see the string is coming off her fingers. So I'm talking about looking here. You can see the string comes off her fingers and the back end moves across her face, missing the chin. That's another video to make. But let me scroll it back. So this flexibility here, this movement here in towards the body, that flex there allows the arrow to then flex over here. And because the arrow is then moving in from this location, it then kicks the back of the arrow, and that's why she misses her arrow rest by 2 centimeters or a good old-fashioned inch. All right, so it's a chain reaction. We want this movement here. That's why I really don't like chin drag. We want that movement across here because, and that's why we don't want too much chest contact, chin contact, because it allows the movement here, and that allows the kick that goes around the arrow rest there. I'm just going to show you one more time, because I know when I show people this video, some people, if they've not seen high-speed video before, they're quite shocked at how much movement there is there when the string comes off the fingers. But I want to assure you it's totally normal, and we're going to have a look at another archer here. This one's in black and white, but again, this is a world-class performer. He was a World Cup medalist, Rene de Serrano, And again, this one's a little bit darker, but we can see the string in here, and we're going to see the string come off his fingers. It's going to curl in, curl off to the side, and then he's going to come round. I'm going to scroll it myself. Right, so the string is moving off his fingers. Boom, you can see that. As soon as he relaxes his fingers, the string comes across his face, bending the arrow. Then it has the flex away from the arm. So that's what gives you arm clearance. Very rarely do you hit your arm guard on the way forward. You hit the arm guard on the way back. And he has the kick. As it moves across, it kicks and bang. He's then missing his arrow rest by a significant amount. And this is a bare shaft tuned, world-class performing bow. This is what Olympic recurves look like. It's just most of us don't have the opportunity to see them fly like that, because a camera to record at 3,000 frames a second, frankly, it costs you a couple of $1,000s, if not $10,000. So that's why. But also you can see here, just for now, it wouldn't matter what position he had his fletchings in. He could have his fletchings all in random positions and none of them are going to hit his rest. So if you're ever hitting your rest, something else is up. It's not your fletchings. It's not the position of your fletchings. Something else on a recurve bow is causing that problem, because you should miss it by miles. Next, I just want to take a look and see what Easton have to say.
Introducing the all-new Easton X10 3.2mm Parallel Pro, the newest member of the world's most winning arrow family. Engineered for compound competition at the highest level, and recurve competitors preferring a parallel design.
That's an interesting comment. Recurve archers preferring the parallel design. Now, if they'd have said recurve archers preferring a budget option, totally understand, totally agree. Nothing wrong with that. All of us have been on budgets at times. But I'd love to know what they mean by recurves preferring a parallel design, because I can't honestly think of a reason why you'd prefer a parallel design. In all my years of Olympic archery, I haven't had a reason why I wouldn't want to have a parallel. So it's just really interesting. I'd love to know. Am I missing something? Is someone out there, do you have a reason why you don't like a non-parallel tapered arrow and you want to have that? So yeah, interesting choice of words. If they'd have said preferring a budget option, totally agree. So maybe it's a bit of marketing, or maybe there's something I'm genuinely missing out on.
3.2 Parallel features the same 3.2mm micro diameter pioneered by the legendary Easton X10.
I'm so pleased they had Justin Hewish in there. Yeah, because his 1996 Atlanta gold medal, double gold medal victory, that was the first time the X10 had been really out there. And those of you who don't know, everyone who qualified for that Olympics got sent X10s really just a few weeks before the games. In some ways, in my opinion, it was a little bit disruptive. You had people who had their equipment set up, ready to go to the games, and now you're given these new super advanced arrows. So even though the arrows, yeah, they were better, they were an improvement, they've been the best arrow since, just having that disruption of going through tuning and testing right before an Olympic Games, to me, I know as a coach, I'd have found that quite stressful, because yes, the arrow was better, but that disruption to your athletes' training, that your athletes' focus, it was a challenge. But I think in the end, nearly all the medals were won with X10s and have been ever since.
For compound archers, it's the premier long-range outdoor arrow system with optimal weights for long-distance compound and tailored components to optimize for maximum scoring at 50 meters and beyond. For recurve shooters, the parallel design eases tuning and allows going 1 to 2 spine sizes lighter.
I'd love to know what that means. Eases tuning and enables you to go 1 to 2 sizes lighter. Because I'll be confessed, with all my experience, if you were shooting a 500 X10, I'd imagine you would tune a 500 Parallel Pro. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't think so. But it's curious. I can't wait to test these. But I would have been selecting spine like for like. So that is a really interesting comment, and I'll see if I can contact any archers who have tested these and see, because I wouldn't have been going for a different spine. I would have been going for the same number or near as enough. For me, yeah, I used to shoot 450. Parallel Pro, I'm going to choose a 460, and I would expect them to tune the same. So that's an interesting comment. It'd be great to get some more information on that.
while maintaining stability and downrange performance. Barebow competitors also benefit from easier tuning for string walking and more consistent point of aim results with enhanced performance even at lower poundages. The Parallel Pro 3.2 delivers enhanced ballistic efficiency with greater energy and momentum retention downrange and less wind drift, making it the premier long-range outdoor arrow for all-around use.
I think that's a really fair comment, yeah. Long range, all-round use. Probably still, if you want to go win an Olympic medal, you're going to get an original X10. But for a lot of people, yeah, this is going to be a solid choice.
Parallel Pro's proven dual composition technology leverages the...
And that's the key thing. That aluminium tube in the middle doesn't add anything for strength, but what it adds is consistency, and it gives them a consistent mantle to then wrap the carbon around. And that's why when we do the spine testing over the 360 degrees, so we're bending the arrow in every position and measuring the spine over the complete circumference. Super important for recurve accuracy. And when we do that, that's when the aluminium carbon arrows just knock every other arrow out of the water. So there might be that some all carbon arrows are getting close on spine in one direction, or they're getting close and matched in weight. But when it comes to testing the arrow over the complete 360 degrees, it's always the aluminium carbon arrows, or the pure aluminium arrows for that sake, that just destroy the others. And when your recurve arrow is spinning towards the target and flexing, as we just saw, flexing in every single direction, if the spine is different in different directions, that's when it opens up your group. So in some ways, that aluminium tube is there because that provides the foundation to build the accurate arrow upon. And actually, I think if you could actually take out the aluminium tube once you'd made the arrow, you'd probably still have a good arrow. But don't try that at home. Don't try that at home. It's just an idea.
Of aluminum and the performance of carbon with a thermally pre-stressed design for supreme durability, exact spine, and unmatched precision. A synergy of materials and design unmatched in the sport of archery. With compound archery making its Olympic debut, the Parallel Pro is made for the world's biggest stage. The Easton X10 3.2mm Parallel Pro. Engineered for champions. Built for the podium.
Built for the podium. Okay, I think that's all the details we have at the moment. As soon as I get some feedback for some other top archers, I will relay that back to you. But I think it's going to be a really solid choice for a lot of athletes. But probably if you're still a top-end recurve, Olympic recurve archer, you're probably going to still stay with the original X10. But this is definitely a solid choice, and it's great to see new arrows, new choices. It's never a bad thing. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's little introduction to this new arrow. I can't wait to see them, give them a go, and see how the performance and the speed is. If you've got any other questions, put them in the comments. If you've got any questions in general, put them in the comments. And needless to say, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It does honestly really help me. All right, now, good shooting.